Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the PGL Dota 2 Open. We're here in the European Qualifiers playoff time, baby. It's Team Secret facing off against HellRaisers. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by Aosin. Aosin, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Just watching Shark Tank.
Watching Shark Tank? Lordy.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do in between breaks. I watch Shark Tank. It's addicting.
I actually don't know if I've watched a full episode of that show. Is it very good?
Yeah, it's always interesting. It's kind of educational in my opinion.
Edutainment.
Edutainment.
5 seconds.
So if you had to go on Shark Tank, what would be your invention or business plan or whatever that you would float to Mark Cuban and those other cool cats?
I'd invent a anger management pill so all Dota players can enjoy the game.
All right, I'm going on Shark Tank and taking that. Jebaited. All right, I'm done. HellRaisers, they've got themselves the Venomancer. Last time 3-3 played it, and it didn't quite end up working out for them super well. But it still is a very strong hero. It looks like they've decided that the puck is the bigger issue for them.
I don't even think the puck was the issue for them. I think they were just outmaneuvered and outplayed like throughout the entire game. They were just so pressured. I think it could have been something other than the puck, and it still would have had the same outcome. It was just like between the Clockwork, the Bane, and actually it was so. These are the four heroes that made life impossible for them, right? There was a Brewmaster who had a really good start, and then the Puck, who obviously had safe lane, so he had a good start as well. And then YapzOr with some ridiculous farm on his Clockwork, and then a Bane. Like, all four of these heroes just make it so difficult for you to move around the map and get farm, right? Yeah. And then you look at HellRaisers, they're so team fight oriented. You have a Void, you have a Venomancer, an Earthshaker. None of these heroes can do anything without the other one, and Team Secret just kind of played around that and farmed the entire map, built up this giant lead, and there was nothing HellRaisers could really do.
Yeah, true enough. And starting off the second game as well now, taking a Brewmaster and a Rubik opening. I mean, that was one of the problems that we saw, was that it did feel like Brew got a lot down there in that bottom lane, and now most likely going to be playing in the top lane. It kind of shuts off some of the heroes that you can play in the safe lane for HellRaisers. Did you feel like that was a really good matchup for the Brew against the Veno?
I'm actually kind of surprised at how much he was able to get. I think if Brewmaster is left alone, there's really little he can do in that lane. But I think the supports made his life like much easier. I think a lot of credit definitely goes to YapzOr as well as Puppy for protecting the Brewmaster down in that bottom lane.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we'll see what Puppy's hero ends up being as the game goes on too. It's going to be the J4 Disruptor. This was a classic for him as well. He played it a ton through the qualifiers leading up to TI. Got to cast a couple of those games when they were happening. But I think the thing that we should talk about is that Team Secret feeling comfortable going for a first pick Rubik. YapzOr, he plays that hero a lot. He knows how to play the hero.
HellRaisers turn to ban.
Yeah, I've heard that guy's pretty good at that hero.
Yeah.
I think Disruptor's usually picked up for Brewmaster. It's like somewhat of a counter. It's kind of cool because if you manage to catch him out, right, you can static storm him. He's not going to be able to split. And alternatively, if he blinks in and claps and then ultis, you can always glimpse him back. And if you catch him with the glimpse while he's casting his ulti actually splits where the glimpse ends. So
oh, really?
Yeah, so it's kind of weird when you try to time it with Brewmaster, but I'm 100% certain that DK Phobos knows how to play around it. I wouldn't be surprised if he just never falls for any of these kind of tricks.
Yeah. Well, and now it's going to be the Doom banned out as well. I wonder if they're going to go for like an Enchantress again. That was, well, the thing is that when they ended up doing Enchantress earlier, it was with a, it was in the off lane more often than not. It was either Fatsa playing it in the other qualifiers that we were casting, or Hestejo playing it. And with the Brewmaster already taken, it seems unlikely that they would go Enchantress unless Puppy's playing it. There's so many different people that can play that hero.
I mean, last time they ran it, they had Fatsa play the Pugna in the off lane, and then Ace played it in the safe lane. So
that's a good point.
They just like to move everything around all the time. It's just so confusing and makes it extremely difficult for their opponents to kind of guess where people are going to be in terms of laning.
Yeah. Well, the other ban was of the Juggernaut. Maybe a little bit concerned that Secret are trying to end this game early. Also, keep in mind, everybody, that there's more qualifiers going on the other channels. There was some talk going on about whether or not Na'Vi was going to play the finals of the CIS qualifiers. That talk is still going on, so I don't know if it's fully fleshed out because there's Dream League qualifiers that are happening at the same time, and it is going to be that Enchantress. So Secret, going back to what was working for them earlier.
And it's like we discussed, it's just so hard to tell where this hero is going to be going. You never know. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if they put her mid lane. Although I think it's going to cut down on her effectiveness, but you have to kind of make a guess now, you know, if it's going to be a support or an offlaner or even that safe lane farming Enchantress that we've seen them run before.
I think it's their answer to the Veno. You remember when they kept on running it against the Veno in lane? Like, I was expecting Veno to have a much easier time against it, but I think that that's what they've been doing every time they get a chance to. Just like TP out early to lane, find out where the Venomancer is, and then run the Enchantress there.
That's a pretty good point. I mean, they had it for a 1v1 matchup. It was Nikwa who played in that matchup. First time he got destroyed in the safe lane on Radiant side.
Yeah.
The next time they played it, they made him go off lane.
Yeah.
And then off lane on Radiant was much better than the
10 seconds.
wait, actually no, he was offlane Dire first.
Right.
Yeah, he was offlane Dire first. Then he was offlane
5
Radiant.
seconds
Offlane Dire was much worse than his offlane Radiant because on the offlane Radiant side he was able to
HellRaisers,
head to those two camps and just jungle those instead of fighting Enchantress in late.
Whoa. This is super
battle.
bold. Team Secret taking the Bounty Hunter with the 4th pick into a Drow Ranger. Now, you can get up close to the Drow, true, but this is a lineup that's built to push and built to take towers early and built to 5-man. That's at least how I see it. Let me know if I'm saying something incorrect there.
10 seconds.
Is that at all scary for you, taking the Bounty Hunter into that?
5 seconds remaining.
I think it's actually okay. With the heroes that they have. I mean, Team Secret, they definitely know how to play around this hero right now, so I'm not exactly worried for them. They still have one more pick as well. I feel like once we see what this last pick is going to be like, where everything will come together.
Yeah. Well, it's a Bat Rider getting taken now. I mentioned that there are other qualifiers going on over the next few days. In the Star Ladder U qualifiers, there's Team Secret versus Mouse, Team Kingwin versus OG, SFT Esports versus Penta, and HellRaisers are going to get a free win over 4 Protect 5, but just more to come in these European qualifiers. It's a continuing thing. You're going to keep on seeing these teams playing against each other, and storylines are going to develop as they play in the qualifiers. So keep your eyes out for that. Queen of Pain going to be banned out now by Secret as well. And we have one more ban from HellRaisers. Hey.
They're stumped.
5 seconds remaining.
What do we ban? what core can we ban?
I don't know. Because you don't even know necessarily if one of these is going mid or not. I would imagine that they're still looking for the mid 1 hero, though.
HellRaisers, turn
Oh yeah,
to
definitely.
pick.
They're gonna ban out the Alchemist. Interesting. I'm trying to think of what would be good here. With, actually, I feel like this would be a pretty good Invoker game.
For mid 1?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty decent game for
remaining.
mid 1 to play Invoker. I think like the way he plays Invoker is just like
5 seconds.
he's just so
remaining.
good at fighting with that hero. I think he'll be able to farm up a very quick scepter and then just constantly fight with his team instead of just farming.
Yeah.
Not exactly the greatest of setups for Sunstrike, but he'll be the one to provide the right click in like the early game, and then once he has the scepter, he'll be able to, you know, do all the fancy Invoker stuff.
Yeah. Get those levels up, etc. And they don't have like great roaming yet.
Secrets, turn to pick.
That's what this Clockwork is going to attempt to do, I would imagine. Well, no, actually, Clockwork 4. So he's probably going to be heading mid and trying to help out whenever possible against I'm assuming that it's going to be Drow safe lane. Maybe not. Maybe with the Disruptor, it's too hard to do that. Like, whatever lane the Disruptor in is going to be probably pressured pretty heavily, wouldn't you say?
5 seconds.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I think they might actually commit to a dual lane with Drow Ranger mid and then the Venomancer safe lane. Oh, 1 second left. What is it?
You may now select
Oh,
What?
God. All right. All right. Okay.
That's not cool. I mean, I guess he's going to be there for the engagements, though. You know, you can just keep farming away, make a split, TP him in, and then go fight.
Huh. Do you like it?
It's kind of hard for me to say. I don't know Arc Warden very well at all, so just going to have to see how he does and learn from it.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly a hero that's able to, you know, split push really effectively, hold high ground as well. I think that's probably the main reason that they're taking it here is, like, this is a push lineup from HellRaisers and trying to siege from the low ground with the Drow Ranger not getting caught out. And so you throw down Magnetic Field and they're not going to be able to hit the tower. So it's, I guess, the way that they're going with it.
Well, that is a good point. It is actually so frustrating to try to siege as range against that bubble. I don't even remember what it's called.
Magnetic Field.
Magnetic Field.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go with bubble.
I like it. It more clearly demonstrates what the ability is about. Maybe a pause or something? All right, it's taking a little while to load in. All right. Game number 2. And HellRaisers needing a win here. Otherwise, they are going to be dropped out of the qualifiers for the PGL Minor. And the normal pause to start it. J4 needing some time to think about things. So
this is gonna be another rough early game for HellRaisers. I feel like Secret are just so good at the laning phase.
Yeah. Where do you think is going to be like the biggest issue? Is it like the Disruptor and I guess Veno lane? Do you think that's going to be a problem, or do you think that like Ace is just going to dominate the Batrider down bottom? Where are you looking at as potential areas for concern?
I think with these lane setups, I feel like there's no lane that's actually safe. because if you look at their cores, right, Arc Warden is actually a pretty good core when it comes to like utilizing rotations because of how strong the Flux as well as Spark Wraith is.
Yeah.
And then Enchantress, she's not the greatest, but she's not bad either. Enchant is actually a very powerful slow. You know, at level 1 it's 55%, and it slows for 2.25 seconds. So that's like a really strong disable as well. And then if you look in the off lane,
30 seconds to battle.
Brewmaster also kind of in the same area, just provides a very strong disable in the Thunderclap slow as well as Drunken Haze if you need it.
Yeah.
So there's definitely setup in every lane.
Right. Well, Milan getting his dance on. And Puppy is just going to place down a couple of these wards deep, sit out here, see if he can snipe a courier. This shouldn't happen at this level. If you're playing, you should know. J4 was thinking about stealing the rune maybe, and then they don't end up blocking. Look at the block eventually. Wonder if there was some talk going on there.
All right, the courier's coming out.
Oh God, is Puppy actually going to get this?
Puppy is waiting.
All right, they're holding it on the high ground. Does he know? I wish that scans could check for couriers. Oh, man. How OP would that be?
It'd be really annoying. There would actually be a reason to have multiple couriers.
Yeah.
Just go park them somewhere and hide them.
Well, they're going to end up hitting mid lane. That was a Sentry Ward drop down. Flux is there as well. Kaiser taking a beating. A Puppy just going to have to back out now before he takes too much more damage, but mid one can keep the harassment on. Already 3 and 1 for a piece.
This is actually so scary because Bounty Hunter actually didn't buy anything. He made Yapster buy everything, and because of that he gets to pick up the early PMS, and with this early PMS, he's just like so damn tanky.
Yeah.
It's actually so difficult for HellRaisers to trade efficiently with him.
Oh, and he's going to end up heading back home and probably picking up a TP scroll, going to another lane. Milan trying to do whatever he can to Phobos, but he doesn't have cogs right now. And in the meantime, Disruptor not really able to offer that much. Is Bambo in trouble?
Yeah,
oh, no. How did that happen? Just a lift?
He just got caught out. He was playing a little too far up, not really respecting the damage that can come out from Enchantress as well as Rubik, and he just gets lifted. And he was only level 1 as well, so there's no Firefly.
Well, up top here, Puppy trying to play cleanup. Can he get within range? Too slowed by the Gale. Now he is going to have to walk away. He does have Invis back off cooldown very shortly, and, well, they don't quite get the cogs. Whoa, there's the cogs pushback. All right, they get something at least.
Don't think he's going to mind too much.
Mid lane, Kaiser, he's going to be pulled back in and killed also. Yabsor making the moves around the map, finding kills.
Very nicely done. This Bat Rider versus Enchantress lane is kind of difficult though for the Enchantress. She has pretty terrible turn rate, so if you manage to stack up enough times on her, you can just kind of Firefly over her and do some donuts on her.
Yeah. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. Mid is level 4 right now, and a little bit out CSing the Drow. Actually has 9 denies versus her 9 last hits. Yapsor's moving again, and they got the slow onto Bambo. The lift is there if they wanted to use it, but he is just going to be able to back out. But Bambo gets away.
Enchantress has 17 stick charges now. It's going to be a little more difficult for Bambo to find the opportunity to get kills in. Gonna go straight to the jungle.
So it is all of the CS kind of favoring Secret right now, and well, it's looking a little bit rough. I don't know. Is there any type of like rotation that you make at all? It feels like they're kind of stuck in the lanes that they're in right now.
I think they definitely are going to be stuck in their lanes. There's really not too much you can do about it. Disruptor doesn't offer too much. Kind of have to protect your Drow Ranger. It's really important that you're able to keep her alive. And if you look at the Clockwork's only level 2, doesn't have the battery assault. So with Cog and Rocket, you don't really offer too much. I think you should get level 3 first, and then if you get level 3, then you can actually provide some kind of backup to your Bat Rider, for example. I think that's something you can pair up with.
Well, mid one silenced in the mid lane. Does still hold on to his salve, which is going to pop now. And well, 19 and 12 for mid one versus 12 and 6 for Drow. Drow is certainly hurting in this. Ace been able to be left alone. Level 3 on the Bat Rider. We'll see if he can make anything happen against Enchantress, but she is level 5, and as you said, those 17 stick charges, keeping her alive and well.
J4. Is there going to be any kind of follow-up? It doesn't look like it.
And he is poor, too. Broke as a joke right now.
They scan out Bambo, so they know he's here. Bambo just taking the long route around.
He actually got hit by the tower. They've got him. This is going to end up being another kill. They can pull him into the tower, possibly. Trying to run him down, but... I mean, Ace is really fast. Let's be real here.
He has to be careful, though. I think he has to run away.
Yeah. Good play there by Bambo. Able to get himself out. Mid one in the mid lane, though. Ends up finding the kill on the Kaiser with Puppy's help, and now they come in as well. 3-3 is in trouble. He's going to end up dying. A double kill from mid one as they were trying to help, and... okay.
Okay.
Man.
So you can kind of see just how annoying Arc Warden is in lane. Like the Flux and Spark Wraith do so much damage, and with the help of any support, it's just like a very straightforward setup.
Yeah. 2,000 net worth lead right now. Actually, almost 3,000. They're gonna go again. Oh. Pull him away. Stick charges. Bambo, no! He goes down. The tower finds the kill, and in the meantime, Bambi is able to just wait for all that damage and Firefly to run away. Puppy will be able to get this regen rune if he wants to.
Regeneration.
Or just let Milan take it. And they head away.
Just a little too greedy there by Bamboo. Sometimes, you know, you get clouded by the fact that you have 6 stacks on your enemy. You know, I understand that feeling. You just want to run them over, but unfortunately, Enchantress a little too tanky, and absorbing the TP support.
Kaiser, is he getting? That's 3 uphill misses. He's still going down though, and now 4 heroes. Well, 3 heroes mid. Maybe 3.5 since he got Arc Warden's double. And they end up finding another double kill for mid one. 5-0-0 with 33 last hits at 6.5 minutes-ish. This is a good game for Arc Warden.
7-1. Once again, Secret continuing this trend of absolutely stomping the laning phase. And it's just so hard for HellRaiser to do anything about it because your comeback mechanic is basically having Disruptor 6 or having 6 on Clockwork to find someone or a Blink Dagger on Bad Rider, but that is not going to be in the works for quite some time. And I feel like at this rate, the lead is going to be so large that it doesn't even matter at that point. Even if you do have the initiation tools or the pick-off tools, it's just not enough.
And you got to keep our eyes across these other maps too. Like mid one here is going to show up and they force the Bat Rider away. And in the other lane, DK Phobos can kind of just stay here against these 2 heroes. And with Puppy coming in and DK Phobos having split, there's a very real possibility they just kill them both off. I am so concerned right now for HellRaisers. And it looks like they're going to go now on to 3-3. They pop the Brew ulti. The rock comes out. They've got the extra little bit of damage. They lift up the Disruptor. In the meantime, Milan is going to die in the mid lane. So they're going to find 3 kills here. As I don't know how you stop this. It is so hard to deal with this. There's the clap. Double kill for Phobos. On top of the Milan kill.
I'll take that.
Maybe they find Puppy. Yeah, this will be at least something.
Yeah, they got something at least. DK Phobos showing why he is such a good brewmaster. That was some great control on the pandas. Like, there's actually so little delay in between every ability that he casts.
Yeah.
The Boulder, the Cyclone, as well as the Windwalk on the Storm Panda.
Windwalk, that's the name of it.
I wonder if they have to change it though, because that's the name of it in Warcraft 3. So I'm kind of curious. I don't remember what it's called in Dota 2. I feel like they must have changed it.
Well, 9 minutes in, 10-2, and everybody just going to take a break for a second, figure out what they want to do. 5,000 gold lead, 4,000 experience. Midas about to be completed for mid one at just under 10 minutes.
That is kind of scary.
Yeah, a little
Definitely
bit.
Not
a little scary. I mean, you look at it, and Brewmaster almost has more CS than the Drow Ranger.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is. I think you can't really blame him either. I don't think the lane is actually easy by any means.
Right.
I think Arc Warden is already a tough opponent for the Drow Ranger and the Disruptor. You throw in the Bounty Hunter who starts with the PMS and a Yapsor Rubik. I mean, none of these lanes are safe.
Well, we'll have to see how it progresses. We do have the Satyr Tormentor down here. They're going to try and push this lane maybe with, or they'll just farm out the jungle. That's the thing is, like, Secret have also been really good about not trying to overstep and pretty consistently making the right decision.
Definitely. They know when to take objectives and when not to risk it.
Yeah.
Just go farm and out farm or go for pickoffs and then make a push happen. Like, they're very efficient with their movements, more so than other teams that they've played so far.
All right, this is a big moment, though. J4 walking in, only level 4 himself. They throw it in the connect field. Mid 1's going to get caught. There's the silence, but Yapzor, he gets the lift, the stun onto 2. Can mid 1 get out of here? He lays down the magnetic field.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Is he going to end up going down regardless, though? No. There's going to be the glimpse. They pull him back in. Mid 1 starting to fall. They are going to finally bring him down. He did get that Midas delivered. Bambo saving the day just barely.
They really needed that. It would have been so bad for them if they didn't even manage to get the mid 1 kill there.
All right. HellRaisers back on the board. Be it ever so slightly.
They have a Disruptor at level 6 now too, so Static Storm going to be pretty important in these upcoming fights. Unfortunately for Clockwork, he doesn't have a 6 yet, but 33 hiding in the trees.
J4
solo smokes. They want to go for this.
Yeah, he's looking for an opportunity here. If he could get a good Static Storm down, he's thinking about it. They're pump faking the ulti. Kaiser walking forward. They get the gust out, but looks like Secret. I doubt they walk forward again into this.
I think they know something's up. It's a little risky.
Rubik has wards now too, so he can just sit mid and farm this all out. Yeah, level 4 wards stolen by Rubik is such value right now.
Glimpse. They find mid 1.
Okay.
This is a pretty important kill again. J4, he's going to trade his life for it.
He has 11 stick charges, but doesn't want to use them. Knows that it would all be for naught. So mid 1 getting caught out a couple times. Highest value hero in the game. That being said, Yapzor now going to be able to start placing these wards aggressively and maybe even take down the tower. It's going to Yapzor? He pulls him, but they get the tower, and now the pull back in. Yapzor going to get caught. Bambo trying to find that kill, and they are going to be able to do it. So another one going the way of HellRaisers.
Not too bad. Definitely not, you know, the greatest thing to have to lose your tower for that one, but at least they don't walk away free.
Yapzor doesn't have wards now too. That's the other nice part about it. Puppy, he's gotten his level 6. Mid 1 has had a little bit of time to himself to farm now and can use the Midases.
Midases.
Midasy? What's the...
I don't actually know.
He's going to be going back for the Maelstrom as well.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much the go-to Arc Warden build now. Helps you farm really quickly, and I think you go like Mjolnir, Hurricane Pike, I think. Or maybe a little greedier build. Maybe you go for... I was gonna say Diffusal, but I don't think you should be so greedy. Just pick up the Force Staff afterwards, that you can force your way out of the cogs and not really put yourself at risk.
Is under attack. Radiant structures.
I think Ace showed himself for a second there, moving into the jungle right now, hoping to find somebody, and looks like they will run into the Brewmaster. They have vision of him. Hookshot connects onto Yapzor, actually. He's going to pull him outside of the cog. That's a good stun, but he stole Static Storm. Now lays it down on top of the other ones. I believe they got the silence off before he could put down the Static Storm. Meanwhile, the Venom ulti comes out as well. They throw it down now. Going to be able to take down that Drow Ranger, and well, with Ace stealing the damage with the impetus shots, that's going to be more than enough. 4 are going to fall for the price of the brew.
Almost 5. Bambo gets away barely. I wonder if this Spirit hits him. Oh, it's going to hit him. Look. It's chasing him.
Get there. Where is it at? I don't see it. Oh, hey.
Here too. Yeah, there he is.
Let me see if I can get a good angle on this. Oh, it's coming. Run away.
So spooky.
They got him.
Balance the scale.
All right. 8,000 net worth now. And with a couple of those being track kills, that was a big moment in this game. It felt like maybe there, if you have HellRaisers like killing off more than just the Brewmaster, things start looking a little bit better. But winning an engagement like that, it's pretty tough. Oh, Dust, not quite on the mark.
Like you said, winning it with so many track kills, even though they're so far ahead because of track, they still manage to come out on top with like 2,000 gold.
Yeah.
And that is rough.
All right, 15 minutes in.
Dire's top tower
17 to 6.
Dire's top tower.
Brewmaster taking down towers like it ain't no thing.
Gonna be going for a similar build to last game. Doesn't get the Vlads first, but picks up a Blink Dagger. He's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah. Quite good indeed. Well,
mid one finishes his his Maelstrom. He's gonna go for a Blink Dagger next. This will be pretty cool to see.
really? Hey, double blink. Why not?
I mean, it's cool. It's good for fighting. I don't think it'll help your main one farm faster, and it'll help your clone fight a little better as well. So, pretty neat stuff.
Well, 17 to 6. Where do you see the next couple minutes going for Secret? Are we gonna start to see maybe like a movement towards Roche or something?
Wait, before that, they can see that Secret are out of position with these two heroes. This could be a big
they scan though. There's the hook shot. They got one. Yapzor, he has Static Storm still. There's double Static Storm action. One on top of the other, and Enchantress still living through this for the moment. 17 stick charges, staying alive, barely, just barely, but is gonna eventually fall. Puppy in the meantime, also gonna go down, and Yapzor trying to kill him off as well. They do take down Sexy Bambo. Mid one, trying to turn this onto Milan. Can they kill him off? The right clicks as well as that Fade Bolt, more than enough. But now J4 getting chased as well. They're looking for Kaiser. They get the lift up with the Cyclone, and now they're gonna be able to kill off the Disruptor, and most likely play cleanup onto Kaiser as well. Silence is there, then DK Phobos able to, well, almost keep himself alive.
That was so unlucky.
3-3, no more lift.
I mean, that wasn't that bad. They managed to get 2. I think that's actually okay for HellRaisers.
Yeah.
Considering they're behind 9k, I think that's actually okay.
It was like the perfect initiation point too. That's the big thing.
That should help.
Still, very unlucky for DK Phobos. He turns around, Drunken hazes Kaiser, and still gets hit through all that evasion.
Yeah. I think some of that was the tower too, but it's rough.
Bargain hunting.
So how do you deal with mid one at this point? He has Midas, Boots of Travel, Maelstrom.
Tower is under attack.
Like, what's the big answer to Arc Warden? Because I feel like whenever people play against him, there's just sometimes this problem with, like, he gets out of control and you can't do anything to stop him, and sends his clones off. There's nothing to deal with it. Puppy, in the meantime, gonna break a TP of Bambos.
You definitely need... They have answers. It's just whether or not they have the damage to follow up. Like, you can catch him out with Bad Rider, or even... I'd say Clockwork is better than the Disruptor, but Disruptor can also kind of catch him out, so... They have ways to find him, but whether or not they have ways to actually kill him off when they do find him is a different story.
Right.
Because he has so many different heroes that can protect him. I'm sure eventually we're going to see Force Staffs as well, so... It's not going to be an easy target to find.
We also have a Blink Vlad stun for Phobos. So even if they do manage to find him around the rest of his team, they've got all this other stuff just in the skills, not just the eventual Force Staffs to help make it difficult. He's also queuing up an AC and then eventually an Aghanim Scepter. Bottom lane is being pushed in though, and this is what they need to deal with. Kaiser in 3-3, pressuring towers with wards as well as the right clicks. Look at how quickly it's dying.
Mid one TP's in with the illusion, and it looks like Secret want to fight this. See if they can find anyone.
Well, they got the vision. They are going to end up getting the Purge onto 3-3. Flux is there as well. He is caught in some trouble. Turnaround coming. Puppy is caught as well. They are going to be able to bring down 3-3, it looks like. They end up stealing a Gale as well as, well, nothing else for the moment. They're chasing down Bambo. They've got the, well, Brewling's chasing after him as well. Kaiser, the lone one left standing, and not for long. They end up losing Puppy on Secret. But Ace gets a triple, and everybody falls for HellRaisers.
That is not how you want to take a fight. I mean, they didn't even use Static Storm.
Yeah. Secret
were just spaced apart so well that there was really no way that the HellRaiser were going to be able to fight. Especially since they were against the Smoke Team Secret there. So even though they wanted to turn it around, they didn't know exactly where they were.
I wonder if at that point it's better for 3-3 to just turn around and like ulti and make them kill him so the rest of his team can get out. You know what I mean?
That's actually a pretty solid strategy, but I mean, obviously, in the heat of the moment, it's not that easy to come up with a strategy like that, right?
Right.
I think your initial thought is just to make a run for it.
Yeah. Well, Arc Warden, the Blink Dagger's done now, so his ability to move around the map and sort of even be further elusive is increased. We'll see mid 1 push out these lanes and start to pressure the tier 2 towers around the map.
See if anything else is coming out. Puppy has a hood. Yaps are gonna go for the Yules first, then the Blink seems to be his go-to build.
Arc Warden mid, they jump in, but it's actually only the real Enchantress. Other mid one is out and away from the rest of them, and well, that's just going to be Enchantress getting out of there. They also throw down the Magnetic Field, and Milan's going to get lifted up. Bambo in trouble. They're going to start to fall. Kaiser getting ran down. He can't do anything to mid one. Magnetic Field, he literally took no damage at all. And again, a 5-man wipe. Secret are just handling HellRaisers right now.
This is starting to look brutal. This is the power of the Bounty Hunter, and we always mention it, but Secret, they just do so well in the early game, and they're so good at just building up this lead over and over again.
So how do you deal with this? Because it feels like no matter what heroes they're taking, is it just that they're always prioritizing heroes that can dominate the lanes?
I mean, that's definitely a big thing about it, is that they always have this very strong early game presence. They win the lanes so hard to the point that even though the draft looks like it's not going to work out well in the mid to late game, it just ends up working because of just how much net worth they have over their enemy.
Alright. Well, Mjolnir is now done as well. And if it wasn't difficult before, it's certainly difficult now, as Bambo gonna need to back out of there before things get even worse. He does have Firefly, but they decide they want to fight. I don't know about that one. Yapster is now going to lift him back in. Oh god, they end up getting the silence off as well, dodging away the venomous Poison Nova, excuse me, is going to end up going out, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough either. Drow is going to fall. This game is like almost over. The GG called, they're done.
They're just getting stomped right now. They just look so powerless. They have no answer.
They got secreted. This is what Secret's been doing through these qualifiers. They just... we need to see Secret against like a tier 1 team, and it might happen in this next round of the playoffs. I don't believe that the playoff match is going to be happening today, but Mouse and OG I think is still going on. It looks like OG might have lost. Is that true? We'll have to check. But anyways, give us a recap on this series. I'll do a little bit of research and see what's cracking.
Well, I mean, this is pretty much Team Secret at the moment. They have not shown much of anything else right now. They're showing their flexibility in hero picks, and right now they're very, very early game focused. So much to the point where they unsurprisingly win all 3 lanes in, I think, like the last 3 best of 3s that they played. And I think like a lot of their games are somewhat decided within the first 10 minutes or so.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, there are a couple games that we watched of theirs where, like, the Broodmother Ace game that I just think back to where it was just so far and outdraft, and sometimes it's outdraft, sometimes it's outplays. More often than not, it's a combination of both, but they just look like the best team in Europe right now, at least for my money. And looking back at this, it does look like Mouse won in at least game number 1 against OG. It was a Spartan Ancient Apparition, no surprise there. Let's see, Nyx Assassin, Timbersaw for Thug, and then OD for Rezo. At the end of the day, though, that's the winner of that next series is going to determine who Secret faces in the grand finals. That match is not going to be played today, as far as I'm aware. I was checking in with the admins. It's kind of hard to keep up to date with what's happening with all these matches because there's Dream League qualifiers that's going on, there's Starletter qualifiers that's going on. Any final thing that you want to talk about as far as where you expect to see HellRaisers and Team Secret going forward?
It's kind of hard to say where HellRaisers are currently at. It's, you know, it's somewhat of a new lineup I think every time you change out one member is always a different story. But I mean, even though I say that, Team Secret are playing with the stand-in and they look so strong. So I think like Team Secret, like you said earlier, you know, we gotta see how they match up against some of the tier 1 teams. And as far as HellRaisers goes, I mean, I'm just gonna say that they need some time to work things out.
Yeah. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. Unless I hear otherwise, we're going to be taking down the channel. Go check out the rest of the OG versus Mouse series if you are so inclined. There's also King's Cup, I believe, closing out for NA on BTS 1. And I did just get word